You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kingdom first. I know that you gotta wait for your turn sometimes to build something really sustainable. Work on your catalog so that
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And some room to maneuver. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. The Patriots at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. This defense for the Jets, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing Jones. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Now Jones. Finding Harris on back-to-back plays. And they'll get this down to the 10. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, first down.
Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety.
And he will score! Touchdown, Patriots! A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Pats will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And it's picked up by the Patriots, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now a give, running left is Harris. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. Jones. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing. And they got it out to him on the left side. And he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Harris running straight ahead. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Patriots have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
On first down, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. New England with a first down as they begin the drive.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
You're looking there, the defensive back was maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
third down. Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Patriots are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This pass caught by Hamler. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Operating from the gun, Jones. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. From just shy of midfield, Jones. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Off-play action, Jones. Here's Johnson with a reception.
He'll get it inside the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Damian Harris, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Patriots will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores.
That's caught inside the 20.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown.
A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Jets are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Extra point right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. New England with a first down as they begin the drive.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Here's Jones. A final shot before break. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half.
He's got a man complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. 5 yards remain on second down.
Throwing is Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Wilson to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. From the gun, it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Jets are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point safely through, and we are tied at 21. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Pats at the line, ready to go. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
And that's his second sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting the sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
It's brought in by Harris.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They hand this off to Harris, and that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Off the play fake, Jones. And the catch made by Johnson.
And he will have a Patriots first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Only needing 2 yards on second down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there at 22. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Off play action, Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Juwan Johnson. His third touchdown now on the year.
And the Patriots have moved out in front here in the final minute of the third quarter.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And they will take a 7-point lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown, and cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense? No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely crazy about that play call there. I mean, it's only a one-score game, so is it really time to go bombs away and try and make a big play? I think you can take some underneath stuff and still move it downfield.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Second down and goal. Jones.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Myers' kick is good.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
And the Pats are going to take possession of the football.
Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't...
Touchdown! A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game.
And the Patriots are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Patriots are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 24. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And that's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Now Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down. From the shotgun, Wilson.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson is going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jonathan Abram picks it. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Throwing, Jones. Throwing right, and that's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
This was almost what I've heard referred to as a pick 12.
Pick 12, explain.
Well, you're talking about the 6 that they were trying to get.
Because they were so close to the end zone.
And now the 6 going the other direction. So when you take a look at teams on the march, they're in the red zone. Then after the interception, and it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep them from going all the way.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Wilson.
That pass complete to Moore.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. is caught at the 7-yard line. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And now here is another interception. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Patriots are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England 1st down. Now Jones. Looking deep downfield.
Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception.
Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
He's going to go up top again. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. One last shot for Wilson. One last shot at the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though? How many takeaways did they have? I quit counting after a while. They were clearly the better team, and their defensive effort, it led the way.
So for the Pats, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage.